சென்னையில் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸ் தேடுறீங்கன்னா finebhk.com போங்க. மேஜிக் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸை ஏஐ உங்களுக்கு சஜஸ்ட் பண்ணும்.
Sriman P. Wilson.
Thank you, Vice Chairman sir. I'm happy to see you in this seat today. This government came to power promising Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. What we have today, a regime of Sabka Boj, Sirf Unka Vikas, which means burden on the many, the benefits for the chosen few. This government functioning with slogans and budget is equally full of slogans. Let me demonstrate with unemployment, which is styled as Yuva Shakti driven budget. India today is facing an unemployment crisis. What is more shocking is that 83% of our unemployed population is youth. According to the Indian Employment Report 2024, jointly published by the International Labour Organization and Institute of Human Development, a 2026 report titled State of Working India finds that graduate unemployment among the age group up to 29 years remained high, nearly 40%. Vice Chairman sir, that means 4 out of every 10 educated young Indians are jobless. And what does this finance bill offer them? Slogans like Yuva Shakti. But slogans do not create jobs. There is no national employment guarantee for the urban youth, no enforceable job creation framework, no meaningful protection for the gig workers and the unorganized sector, which employs over 90% of the India's workforce, no universal social security. Vice Chairman sir, inequality in India, that is I'm meaning inequality in India, has reached unacceptable levels. According to the World Inequality Report 2026, the top 10% capture 58% of the national income and hold 65% of the total wealth. Meanwhile, the bottom 50%, over 70 crore Indians, are left with just 15% of the income and a mere 6% of wealth. Only yesterday I saw a post on the social media that one industrialist, Ambani, wealth increased to 500% since 2014 and Adani wealth over 1000%, but India fell from 52nd position to the 102 position in the global hunger strike. Sir, I am not against Indian businesses and large corporations doing well. In fact, economic growth is driven by growth of Indian industry. But the question is income inequality and the government's apathy towards the middle and lower economic class of the society. So what does this finance bill do to address income inequality and help those in dire need? Nothing. Does it tax the super rich? Does it introduce a wealth tax, an inheritance tax? Does it even attempt redistribution? No. Instead, it hands out concessions to corporations, minimum alternate tax reduced to 14%, ACZ tax holidays extended to 20 years, safe harbor margins for data centers fixed at 15%, and massive incentives for the capital-intensive sectors like semiconductors, rare earths, and electronics sectors dominated by a handful of corporate giants. In fact, welfare expenditure has been slashed by 59,456 crores compared to the last year. The gender budget alone have been cut by 51,144 rupees crore. Schemes that sustain the poor, Manrega, PMOY, PMJY, PM Poshan, crop insurance are being short-changed. Sir, the only welfare economics that comes to the mind of the union government is direct cash transfer in BJP-headed and electoral alliance parties ruled states heading for elections. That also only before election. After election, there is no thought of achieving a universal basic income. Fertilizer subsidies are down, food subsidies are reduced, fuel subsidies is shrinking. You are taking away the lifeline of the poor to fatten the balance sheets of billionaires. What steps are taken for addressing LPG scarcity? India is today one of the largest consumers of LPG in the world, with annual consumption of approximately 31 million tons. But our national storage capacity barely covers 3 to 4 weeks of consumption, and strategic reserves are extremely limited. Nearly 60 to 67% of LPG is imported, mostly from West Asia through the Strait of Hormuz, making India highly vulnerable to geopolitical disruption. This is largely because the government has failed to diversify energy sources efficiently. The government has also been slow in building the necessary natural gas infrastructure, such as the pipelines and terminals, which has hindered the goal of a gas-based economy. For example, the Kochi LNG terminal has been underutilized for years. Recently, the government has also announced that those with PNG access but has not availed, it will be cut off from LPG. Sir, this is highly draconian. There may be many reasons, including high cost and technical feasibility, for not switching over. We must encourage and allow this transition gently and over a period of time, not force and immediate. Is there any provision in the budget to address this West Asia global tensions? No. For middle class, there is no structural tax relief. There is no encouragement for their savings or frank disclosure of income. Instead, what we see is a dangerous expansion of powers. Tax authorities can now reopen past assessment without any limitations, even in a closed cases. This is a tax terrorism with legal backing. Sir, in my speech on the budget proposal, I highlighted how there is no relief for the relentless red tape in the tax administration. Nothing has been done in this bill to provide relief from that. Sir, still there is no legal guarantee of MSP for farmers, no comprehensive agriculture reform addressing debt, climate risk or price instability. Farmers continue to suffer, suicides continue, and the government looks away. Sir, I want to take this opportunity to highlight a growing trend of monopolies in key sectors like defense, energy, ports, and airports. This is against the national interest. I want to say that in last few years, the government of India has issued a directive to all coal-based thermal plants to procure coal on pass-through basis in separation of the terms of the power purchase agreement. This has been skyrocketing of price of electricity purchased by the discoms, which is ultimately passed on to the consumers. I hope the government takes a complete audit of the financial distress caused by these pass-through directions under Section 11 of the Electricity Act and comes up with a plan to counter high cost of imported coal in the future without issuing ad hoc directions like this. The government claims fiscal prudence with 4.3% fiscal deficit target, but this cannot be achieved by cutting welfare, squeezing subsidies, and shifting the burden into poor. Meanwhile, India's debt to GDP stands at 55.6%, and the interest payments consume nearly 20% of the total expenditure. Gross tax revenue growth is a modest of 8%. GST collections are stagnating. Consumption demand is weakening. Even UPI growth is slowing. Clear signals of an economy losing momentum. We see tax holidays for IFSC units extended to 20 years, duty exemptions for critical minerals, incentives for data centers, and an infrastructure risk guarantee fund, a mechanism where profits are privatized and risks are socialized. This is a crony capitalism at its worst. Chairman, sir, the government may speak of 3.2% of inflation, but I request the Honorable Finance Minister to step outside the house and see the real India. An engineering graduate drives a cab. A farmer borrows for seeds. A small business shut down quietly. A family cut proteins from its diet. Graduates are jobless. Growth is being announced, but where is the result? You promised 2 crores job will be created every year. It has been 12 years. Where are the 24 crores job created? You promised doubling farmers' income. Where is that income? Ask any family about actual food prices, fuel costs, school fees, cost of transport. They are struggling to make ends. The real inflation in the hands of the people of this country is around 10 to 15%. Now let's come to the tax burden. Direct taxes grow by 11.4%. Indirect taxes grow by 3%. Indirect taxes are paid by the common people when they buy soap, buy groceries, buy clothes, recharge mobile, buy school notebooks, and all other essential commodities. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar spoke, indirect taxation falls upon the poor man, whether he can afford it or not. A billionaire pays GST, a construction worker pays GST. Same tax, same rate, but the pain is different. The rich feel taxation in spreadsheets. The poor feel taxation in groceries. A middle-class mother does not track fiscal deficit. She tracks the price of the rice and the onion. This budget shows that the union government has failed to fix a tax system that hits the poor the hardest. Tax collections are growing very slowly, but there is still no clear plan to stop tax evasion or bring more people into the tax net. Sir, I also want to highlight the paltry sum allotted to the Ministry of Law and Justice. Sir, we stand at the precipice of the AI revolution in the legal profession. At this stage, we should be talking about the modernizing court and providing access to cutting-edge technology to judges to ease their burden and improve decision making. But the stark reality is that across India, district judiciary and in some states, even high courts are struggling with the basic infrastructure like computer, toilets, etc. I have visited many high courts across the country and even the district courts, but their infrastructure is very poor. Sir, allocating funds to the judiciary will also contribute to the growth of economy. When commercial cases are assured of a speedy disposal, the confidence in the Indian industry is boosted. When long-standing standing property disputes are decided, the assets can be utilized for monetization. Therefore, I urge the Honorable Finance Minister to address the needs of judiciary, particularly on the infrastructure. Similarly, I have been speaking many times on the need to increase the salaries of the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court. The salaries that are being paid now doesn't commensurate with the work they do. We need to give our judges financial security. Retirement of ages of the judges of Supreme Court should be increased to 70 years, and the retirement pension of the judges of the High Court and Supreme Court should be equal to their salary last drawn, and the retiring judges should be used only for the government works and ban their employment in tribunals. Sir, income of middle class people are stagnating, savings are shrinking, aspirations are collapsing, and yet we are told this is a success story. But under the government, the rich becomes richer. Sir, this very government has the audacity to lecture states on the fiscal discipline while its own fiscal house is in complete disorder. The number exposes the truth. The union debt to GDP ratio stands at a staggering 55.6%, more than double that of Tamil Nadu discipline 26.12%, and yet it is the center that claims to be the guardian of prudence. Let us look deeper into the so-called fiscal management. Of every rupee the union government earns, nearly 38% is swallowed by interest payments alone. That is, rupees 14.04 lakh crore is paid as interest, an astronomical sum that vanishes before a single rupee is spent on the development, healthcare, education, or job creation. To my parliamentary question, sir, the ministry has revealed that the outstanding debt of the union government has grown sharply in the recent years. The total debt stood as 156.13 lakh crore in 2022-2023. It increased to 171.70 lakh crore in 23-24. It further rose up to 185.95 lakh crore in 24-25 and estimated to reach 200.53 lakh crore in 25-26 with a budget estimate of 218.63 lakh crore in 26-27. This means in just 4 years, the union government's debt has expanded by 62 lakh crore, representing an income of around 40% since 22-23. While the union government repeatedly lectures states on the fiscal prudence and financial discipline, its own debt trajectory shows a steep continuous rise, raising serious questions about the sustainability of central fiscal management. The reply also exposes a deeply troubling imbalance in India's fiscal federal structure, particularly the treatment of Tamil Nadu. The union government collected 1,75,088 crores from Tamil Nadu in the year 2022 to 23 and rupees 2,07,314 crore in 2023 and 24 and rupees 2,17,165 crores in 2024 and 25, totaling to 5,99,567 crores in tax returns from the state of Tamil Nadu over the last 3 years. However, sir, the funds devolved to Tamil Nadu from the share of the central taxes during the same period were 38,731 crores in 2022 to 23, rupees 46,072 crores in 23-24, and 52,492 crores in 2024 to 2025, totaling to 1,37,295 crores. For example, for every 1 rupee of tax revenue collected by the union government from Tamil Nadu, the state receives only about 23 paise in its capital of the central divisible pool of taxes. This is nothing short of fiscal injustice. A comparison with other states reveals the magnitude of this imbalance. For example, the Uttar Pradesh contributes 3,62,457 crores in taxes to the union government over the same 3-year period. Yet the funds devolved to UP from the central taxes amount to 6,03,220 crores. This means for every 1 rupee of tax revenue collected by the union government from the Uttar Pradesh, it receives about 1 rupee 66 paise back from the shares of central taxes. This disparity becomes even more striking in the case of Bihar. The taxes collected from the Bihar during 3 years total to 49,215 crores, while the funds devolved to the state from the central taxes amount to 3,38,549 crores. In effect, for every 1 rupee of tax collected by the union government from Bihar, the Bihar receives 6 rupees 9 paise back from the 90 paise back from the share of the central taxes. Tamil Nadu, one of the India's strongest economic contributors and the major generator of the national tax revenues, receives only a fraction of what it contributes. Meanwhile, several states that contribute far less significantly larger transfers. The people of Tamil Nadu deserve a fair and equitable shares of the resources they help generate. If the principle of cooperative federalism is to have any real meaning, the union government must address this glaring disparity and ensure that the distribution of the national resources do not systematically disadvantage high-performing states like Tamil Nadu or penalize them for the same. Sir, if the union government truly believes in cooperative federalism, it must answer a simple question. Why is Tamil Nadu paying 1 rupee and getting 23 paise from the central divisible pool of shares? At the same time, other states receive 1.66 or even 6 rupees 90 paise for every rupee contributed. Tamil Nadu has demonstrated that fiscal discipline is nothing about the cutting welfare. It is about managing resources intelligently and prioritizing the people. But what does the center do? It withholds our rightful funds, cut devolution, delays dues, and then turns around to preach fiscal morality. All this while own debt continues to balloon in its interest burden, tightens like a noose around its budget. Several crucial central schemes funds owed to Tamil Nadu remain pending. According to the detailed representation made by the Tamil Nadu government, the union government owes more than 10,000 crores across various schemes. Take Jal Jeevan Mission. The union government has released only 5,914 crores, leaving 3,100 crores still pending. Madam, whenever you deny our lawful dues and give pinpricks through governor, one slogan our MK Stalin always say to our people of Tamil Nadu poradum, Tamil Nadu vellum. Several funds remains only on paper. For example, urban scheme fund announced in budget, but till today we have not received anything. You may control the narrative today. You may withhold our lawful funds amounting to more than 10,000 crore, twist data and preach fiscal sermons from Delhi. But there is one force you cannot control, the people. The people of Tamil Nadu are watching. Madam, you have given nothing to Tamil Nadu for the last 5 years and made them struggle. Mark my words. The people of Tamil Nadu will reciprocate in the same way you did on 23rd April, and you will know the results on 4th May, when the people of Tamil Nadu delivered their judgment against you. The people of Tamil Nadu knows only one slogan, madam. Stalin Todaratum, Stalin Vellatum. Thank you, Vice Chairman, sir.
சென்னையில ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸ் தேடுறீங்கன்னா findbhk.com போங்க. மேஜிக் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸை ஏஐ உங்களுக்கு சஜஸ்ட் பண்ணும்.
Minnambalam.com தமிழின் முதல் மொபைல் பத்திரிகை.